This should be impossible now.
It should be impossible now?
You don't know about the...
Oh my god, don't do this to me. I don't know about the what? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
I will never stop using that meme. So after what, 6 years of development hell, many delays, several controversies around the star Ezra Miller, and over a year since the last time we saw any footage, we finally got a full trailer for the long-awaited Flash movie. The fabled film that many were convinced didn't actually exist and was never going to come out, and it was all just a giant money laundering scheme. Hell, I was almost expecting them to give it the Batgirl treatment. But considering how important this movie is for the new rebooted DC universe that's going to be happening soon under James Gunn, it had to come out eventually to at least ensure that would get off the ground. So many fans are just kind of waiting for Warner Bros. To drop this movie and move on like,
flush that turd down the drain!
So for the Super Bowl, we got the trailer, and honestly I was pretty nervous about the quality. I went in expecting the worst, and after seeing it, I gotta say,
it's okay.
I'll get into my gripes in a moment, but I will say that it does look pretty fun. So they're basically doing the Flashpoint paradox, but of course they're tweaking a few things. If you haven't seen the animated movie or read the comic, basically the Flash goes back in time to save his mother, but because of that it creates an alternate universe and he must fix it. This movie is basically doing that. The Flash travels back in time and creates an alternate timeline, and he has to team up with Michael Keaton's Batman, Supergirl, and another version of himself to fix everything. Now this movie is clearly going to have some multiverse shenanigans going on, and I don't want to get my hopes up and start thinking of big theories like some motherfuckers did for Doctor Strange 2, and start listing off a dozen different cameos that they think will be in the movie, and then get disappointed when none of them showed up. From what I've seen so far, we're getting 2 Batmen, Supergirl, another Flash, and Zod is returning. And they're basically going back to the events of Man of Steel. Since this movie is resetting the DC universe, I guess it's fitting to go back to the first DCEU movie and change the events. They basically look at the events of Man of Steel and are basically like, what if there was no Superman to stop them, and instead there's Supergirl, who's been a prisoner on Earth the whole time. And I think it's pretty interesting how they're doing that. Though it is actually kind of surprising, because I remember months ago there was a leak that appeared online saying that they were going back to Man of Steel and changing the events, and using Zod and the Kryptonians as the antagonist again. And well, it seems that rumor was actually true. But of course, it's like an alternate timeline, because there's no Superman and instead it's Supergirl. And this timeline or universe's version of Batman is the Michael Keaton Batman. I mean, it's pretty interesting, and I guess it's really fitting if you're going to reboot the DC universe and create all these different like multiverses and timelines. And the trailer overall isn't that bad, and parts of it looks like it could be a lot of fun. But what's holding back my excitement is that it looks rough as hell. It's a good thing this doesn't come out for another like 6 months, because so many of these scenes just look like some cheeks. Characters look like rubber when they move. And I mean, look at this. These are real images. They look like pre-rendered video game cutscenes from like the PS3 era. And right here, it looks like they photoshopped Ezra Miller's head onto someone else's body. Clearly some very unfinished CGI. I want to smack the dog shit out of whoever picks some of these outfits. I mean, Keaton looks fine. Supergirl looks really good. But the Flash's suit looks a bit goofy. I'm getting Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern vibes. Hopefully they touch it up, because this ain't it. And the Batfleck suit looks like he's wearing a sports bra. Maybe it's because it's like a daytime shot, so maybe that's why it doesn't look right, but man, it just doesn't look that good. I mean, he looks fine in the other scenes. It's just this image right here, I'm just not feeling this suit. But speaking of Batfleck, it's cool that Ben Affleck is coming back and looking fine as ever. I hear people say that this is going to be his last appearance as Batman, but I swear he's going to be in Aquaman 2, right? I remember hearing about that a few months ago. Jason Momoa posted the video and everything, unless they decided to scrap that from Aquaman 2. And as far as Michael Keaton is concerned, seeing him again is pretty cool. I like Keaton. I know that he's going to have a more important role in the movie than Affleck, but I'm more excited to see Affleck. I just realized we didn't see Iris West in the trailer at all, did we? Is she in the movie? I remember we finally got to see her in the Snyder Cut. IMDb says that she's in the movie. I guess she just wasn't in the trailer. Also, Supergirl murked more people in this trailer than Superman ever did. This created some discourse online because of how much shit Snyder got for having Superman kill Zod and Batman killing criminals, resulting in some pretty funny back and forth on Twitter.
Problem is, they both got a point.
You're a real pain in the neck.
Now, of course, this movie will bring in the multiverse to the DCEU, which will be used to kickstart the new DC universe in a few years. Which is why it's so important they really had to get this movie out. Now, I figured Warner Bros. Discovery were just gonna drop the movie and then cut ties with everyone involved. But apparently Warner Bros. Discovery is still open to working with Ezra Miller. What? So, no more Henry Cavill, but Ezra Miller is fine?
Are you fucking crazy? Huh?
Of all people, you'd think Ezra would be the one they would want to distance himself from. But we'll see what happens in the future. I'm still more than certain that once all these current DCU movies come out, that DC is going to shift the focus to the brand new universe with James Gunn and just kind of leave everybody else in the past. But even knowing that, I'm still kind of looking forward to this one, even though it looks rough as hell. I mean, it looks much better than I thought. But again, my expectations were like through the fucking floor, and I really hope they touch it up within like the next 6 months. It's kind of baffling that they thought that this was ready for the Super Bowl. But anyway, it looks like this cursed film is finally coming out. Will it suck? Will it be be surprisingly good, or will it be like Black Adam? After a long wait, it comes out and it's just okay. Why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, go and drop a like on it. And we'll give a nice big shout out to the channel members. You guys, you want to fight? If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the join button down below and check out the perks. And if it interests you, consider joining. Or not, it don't matter.
If y'all want to die, I suggest just killing yourselves with your own guns. Bye!
I use a combination of lies, manipulation, cheating, stealing, gaslighting, bullying, insulting, and flexing.